Opponent sends back out Bastiodon, revealing they're incredibly weak to Venusaur. The opponent tries to catch the Frenzy Plant onto Victory Bell. Htoad says no. Welcome back to the channel. Today's league turnover day, which means YouTube is going to be littered with them practice battles, them top team videos, yada yada yada. So on this channel, we always like to feature some actual Go Battle League content for those of you that actually prefer to watch some real battles. Today's battles have been submitted to the channel by the highly talented Htoad, and he is running one of my favourite Pokemon, the most destructive grass type to enter the Go Battle League, Shadow Venusaur. This Pokemon absolutely does not care about type-ins. That combination of Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant and Sludge Bomb hits everything for so much damage. Without any further ado, let's get into the battle. And in game 1, Htoad leaves his Powder Snow, Shadow Alolan, Sandslash into the Quagman. Not fantastic. We've got two better responses in the back. We're going to utilise the Shadow Gator Save Switch because Gator is an absolute menace. The opponent farms two potential Stone Edge. Htoad calls the bait like an absolute savage. We do not shield baits in this household. He then over farms, fires off the Hydro Cannon on the charge attack priority, forcing the opponent's first Protect Shield. Once again, we can survive his Aqua Tab, but we're going to be left insanely low. Htoad withstands the damage, looks to fire off the Hydro Cannon, but the opponent actually makes a catch onto Skarmory. Oof, we're very glad to see this thing here, as Venusaur is an absolute menace this season, mostly due to the lack of flying types. Htoad not messing around, fires off the Ice Punch, looking to remove Skarmory from the field of play. And now it is Venusaur time. With a 2-to-1 shield advantage, we send out Venusaur. The opponent sends back out the Quagman, which is switch locked. Htoad going to shield up the Aqua Tail to keep Venusaur as healthy as possible. And it's hopefully time to boom the back line. Out comes Flying type number 2. And this way you're going to see the power of Venusaur. This move is resisted, but my god, does it not look like it. Drifblim looks for the Astonished Farm down on Venusaur, but Venusaur says no, forcing a Protect Shield off a Flying type, which is pretty absurd. And now we're easily just going to be able to come in, one shield, farm down. Well, the opponent didn't even throw, but regardless, we're off to a 1-0 start. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see our old nemesis Wiggles, aka that annoying, stupid, fluffy marshmallow. The opponent save switches into Dunsparce. Htoad going to fire off the Drill Run. And I imagine we're going to pivot into Gator, because Gator is the only Pokemon on the team that doesn't particularly want to see Wigglytuff. Sandslash landing that Drill Run has put this Dunsparce in a range where we can come in and just throw one Hydro Cannon to remove them from the field of play. The opponent might consider shielding, looking to flip that god-awful alignment. Have a trainer. We've got not one anti-charmer, but two. With that in mind, Htoad doesn't even care about switch advantage. Instead, happy to take his shield advantage and send out Venusaur and look to load up on energy. Can Venusaur get that one shield? Full Vine Whip farm down. It's going to be close. Can Venusaur knock out with the Vine Whips? Unfortunately, we cannot. Htoad actually going to double shield, keeping Venusaur as healthy as possible. Venusaur leaves at almost 100 energy. Back out comes Wigglytuff, and we are full sending the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb goes unshielded, almost picking up that one-hit KO, and out comes Marowak. Trainer, I cannot believe you didn't shield that. Or in fairness, I think the opponent was pretty screwed either way. Marowak looking to fire off the Bone Club, removing Venusaur from the field of play, but Htoad makes the catch, catching onto Sandslash. The opponent going to be unable to Mud Slap farm down. Sonic the Hedgehog, we reach the Ice Punch. Ice Punch secures the knockout. The opponent going to be able to charm, farm down Sandslash, but Venusaur going to be able to fire off the Frenzy Plant and take that game. Very, very nicely done. GG's. That opponent running very, very weak to Venusaur. Heading into the next battle, we see the mirror lead. If the opponent's on Shadow Claw, this would be an advantageous matchup. However, most are running Powder Stone now. Htoad able to win the charge attack priority. One Drill Run isn't lethal, but does so much damage. My god. The Shadow Claw variant does actually knock out in the mirror with the additional Shadow Claw damage. Of course, Powder Snow is double resisted. The opponent fire off the Ice Punch bait. We're still able to shield and farm down, and it looks like whatever the opponent's got on the back, not a fan of Sandslash, and they concede the match. In the next battle, we see a huge core breaker. This team, ABA weak to fire. We save switch into Gator, and out comes Ferrothorn. This battle just looks rough all over the place. We're actually going to invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the Power Whip. Htoad throws it very disciplined time in one Shadow Claw and the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon forces a Protect Shield. Htoad recognising that a crunch won't be lethal, opts to go down the path, firing off two further Hydro Cannons. The opponent actually invests both Protect Shields. We are going to now reach the crunch, and crunch should put it in farm down range for either of our Pokemon. Now the opponent shields down, perhaps we've got a chance against this Talonflame. It's still going to be a very uphill struggle. Sludge Bomb gonna hit for neutral, as will the Ice Punch. However, both Pokemon gonna take absurd damage from the Incinerates. The opponent recognising we are so weak to Talonflame, pivot back out, not allowing us the full farm down. We fire off the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb lands for massive damage and its charge attack priority. Can we Powder Snow farm down? We probably can, but we're going to take so much damage. Htoad opts to keep Sandslash healthy, firing off the Ice Punch, removing Talonflame from the field of play. Is this a winnable game? Oh, out comes Gator. Again, if we was on Shadow Claw, I think we could actually win this game. When I saw the alignment originally, I thought we were almost absolutely screwed. But one drill run with the Powder Snow damage, despite this being Shadow and Shadow Crime, just simply doesn't do enough damage. However, it shows that you should never give up and go Battle League, as despite being hard countered on the lead with something we're ABA weak to and hard punish on the say switch, Htoad made that insanely close, valiant effort in the next battle. We see more Pekko in the lead. Htoad farms up, attempts to catch the Aura Wheel onto Venusaur. There is no shot. Why would you bait there? The opponent goes to the Psychic Fang bait on a Steel type. Oh man, that is so brutal. Htoad opts to shield up the next Psychic Fang. Knowing he's going to force a Protect Shield back off more Pekko. More Pekko essentially shields everything, as this thing is so glassy. We do force that Protect Shield. The opponent going to opt to dump energy. Htoad going to elect to let Venusaur go down. This little Wish Pikachu knockoff is such a headache when you face it. It is glassy, but my god, it outputs some damage. Htoad overfarms, fires off the Ice Punch before the opponent potentially fires an Aura Wheel. Ice Punch finally goes unshielded, removing more Pekko from the field of play, and out comes the Quagman. We're going to fire off the Ice Punch. Ice Punch does some decent chip damage, and we see the pivot into Gator, baiting out Jumpluff. Htoad farms to a potential Ice Beam. We haven't got it. You've always got to fake it till you make it. Oh my days, that is a savage call from the opponent. Huge cojones. I was almost certain that would go shielded, especially with the logic that we've got Sandslash. That's going to be a pretty hard wall to this Jumpluff. Wincon for Htoad is going to be looked to fully Powder Snow farm this thing down, getting all the energy in the world to throw 2 charge moves at Quagsire, one to force the shield and one hopefully to remove them from the field of play. Back out comes Quagsire. We fire off the first drill run, goes shielded. Htoad able to reach the next drill run. Is this enough to knock out? It's going to be close. Drill run secures the knockout. No, we're in one Fairy range. Holy moly. Very, very close game. GG's to both trainers. In the next battle, we see public enemy number 1, aka that stupid brick wall Bastiodon. Htoad throws 10 Powder Snows and the drill run for optimal fast move timing. So if you're a newer battler, it's key to throw at good time, and you always want to give the opponent as few free turns as possible. So using a 2-turn move into a 3-turn move, you want to throw at 1, 4, 7 or 10. When moves are thrown at these times, you're only giving away 1 free turn, hence optimal. The opponent then sends out Wigglytuff. Oh boy, this looks like some sort of toxic nonsense team, and our team is so good into them. The opponent actually double shield Wigglytuff, look for that tap, charm down, farm down, but Sandslash says no, reaches one further drill run, getting Wiggles deep into the red, and the opponent throws on CMP like an absolute potato. This now leaves this Marshmallow in perfect farm down range for Venusaur. Venusaur comes in, gets a very nice running start, back out, comes Bastion. The opponent tries to catch the Frenzy Plant onto Victreebel, which would be double resisted. Htoad says no, fires off the Sludge Bomb, almost picking up the clean one shot. The opponent has had enough and they concede the match. I would say GG's, but not to them, as I hate that team. Heading into the next battle. Commanding lead Sandslash into Pidgeot. The opponent say switches into Dunsparce, and we answer with Venusaur. Alignment will be key in this battle, as we don't really want Gator into Pidgeot, as our Shadow Claws would be double resisted due to the subnormal typing. We fire off the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant lands for so much damage. Htoad recognises he really needs switch, going to go for the 1 shield. Full Vine Whip farm down. We not only leave with a move, but we also leave with minimal farm for the returning Pidgeot. Pidgeot comes back out to operate as the damage sponge, but they're not going to appreciate a Shadow Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb lands for like 6% of health. We send back out Sandslash. The opponent pivots out into Gastrodon, and we're instantly pivoting back out into Gator. Gator going to go straight for the Hydro Cannon, looking to force some Protect Shield. We force the first Protect Shield. Body Slam won't be lethal. Earth Power will knock us out. We correctly shield the Earth Power. That is a huge Protect Shield. Htoad going to reach the next Hydro Cannon, which will be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. The opponent looks for that Mud Slap farm down, but Gator, grinning away, says no, reach the next Hydro Cannon, removing Gastrodon from the field of play. We pivot back out into Sandslash, reach the Ice Punch, and you already know that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. You cannot feature a Shadow Gator team without Gator trying to steal the spotlight. That thing is just such a busted pick. In the next battle, we see Galarian Zapdos in the lead. What a pick. Despite counter being nerfed, it's still a pretty good Pokemon. Out comes Moltres. I'm almost certain this is going to be Articuno in the back. And if it is, that is just an insane flex. It also gives our Venusaur nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. I said flies are uncommon, but it looks like this opponent might actually have 3. We're actually able to force the opponent into a CMP tie. The opponent go for the full undercharge, enabling them to get the Sucker Punch farm down. We send out Sandslash. Sandslash still gets the Powder Snow farm down. Back out comes Zapdos. We're going to go straight for the Ice Punch. Come on, trainer, just let it go. The opponent invests that protection, then see the pivot into Venusaur, and there is the Articuno. Trainer, you're a legend. Despite the opponent running triple flyers, Venusaur now has a 2-0 shield advantage. The Htoad's like, what do you mean we don't counter flyers? Venusaur doesn't care about typing. Sludge Bomb removes Articuno from the field of play. Back out comes Zapdos. We lose the charge attack priority. We've still got a Protect Shield to hide behind. We shield up the Brave Bird. Return fire with the Sludge Bomb, and Venusaur is going to counter back-to-back flying types, and we're going to emerge victorious. GG's, and huge shout out to that opponent, flexing a very cool triple Galarian Bird team. In the next battle, we see Sonic the Hedgehog into Cresselia. The opponent save switches into that ever-annoying, slow, bulky blue Clumbersome mouse, or as most people call it, Azumarill. Htoad shields up the Ice Beam. He then throws one Vine Whip and the Frenzy Plant. I would have liked to see us over farm here. Oh wait, Htoad's actually going for the undercharge. So we do get the farm that I did want us to get. So I guess the outcome is the same. Htoad just flexing his PvP skills. Back out comes Cresselia. The Psycho Cuts are hitting us for super effective, but almost all Cresselias in the Great League are running Moonblast and Grass Knot, so this move will not be knocking us out. So Venusaur's either going to claim 2 victims or force a Protect Shield back. I'm anticipating this actually going unshielded, as what is this Cresselia going to do against Sandslash? What do I know? The opponent invests the Protect Shield. We send back out Sandslash, and this is why I wouldn't shield. Trainer, throw whatever you want, it's just going to tickle. The opponent go for the Grass Knot. We easily withstand the damage, and out comes Dugong. Sandslash going to fire off the Drill Run. I'm going to anticipate her switching out into Gator, not playing any silly bait games with this Dugong. We do see the pivot into Gator. Gator easily tanks the Drill Run from full health. This is the easiest no shield of Htoad's GBL career. The opponent goes to the Icy Wind bait, but that bait will not be saving this opponent's fate. We return fire with the Crunch. Crunch gets the opponent into the red health range. Htoad just going to shield up whatever the opponent throws. They actually do go for the Drill Run this time. Back out comes Cresselia. The opponent recognises the game's over and concedes the match. GG's. In the next battle, we see Alolan Sandslash into Clodsire. The opponent save switches into the big fat rat. I think it's so cool this season that people are running Raticate. However, I imagine now Annihilate and Primeape have got Rage Fist. This thing is very quickly going to disappear from the meta, as they are double weak to fight in. It was fun while it lasted, Raticate. Raticate is actually one of my favourite Pokemon. I love the Shadow variant. That thing just hits so hard, but unfortunately I think it's very much going to be benched again. The opponent invests the Protect Shield, looking to make a play at switch advantage. Htoad doesn't really need switch. Even Venusaur is pretty good into Clodsire. The Shadow variant of Venusaur can actually two-shot with neutral Frenzy Plants. I don't think there's a single Pokemon in the format where Frenzy Plant's neutral and they actually survive too. Perhaps stuff like Chansey and Wobbuffet. Even XL Bastiodon doesn't tank 2 Shadow Frenzy Plants particularly well whatsoever. You can already see their damage output is ridiculous, an easy 2-shot. Htoad even flexes Venusaur's bulk, tanking the Sludge Bomb. He then farms up to the double. So if the opponent shield once, so they're just going to get knocked out. The opponent recognises this, let go of Clodsire, putting it all on Pangoro, but Pangoro instantly putting up that protection, blocking up the incoming Frenzy Plant. Out comes Gator. Oh boy, we find ourselves in the bait game. Htoad thinks about calling it again. Huge cojones. He calls the bait like an absolute savage for about the 5th time in today's video. Returns fire with the Hydro Cannon, 1 shield flexing, and we take that game. What an entertainer. Heading into the next battle. Beautiful lead. Goodra pivots out into Drapion. The opponent going to go straight for an Aqua Tail. You can tell it's only an Aqua Tail. There's only 4 poison stings, of course. It is 5 to the crunch. I really like the banking of the energy here. Htoad has got off enough Powder Snow damage to put this Drapion into Hydro Cannon range. And Gator has the higher attack and would be able to win charge attack priority. The opponent invests the Protect Shield, wanting to flip that alignment. Htoad gets baited with the Aqua Tail. Nice bait from the opponent. Htoad actually willing to double shield this time. We correctly shield up the crunch. Htoad going to farm up, look to fire up the Hydro Cannon, but the opponent this time saved Drapion, catching the Hydro Cannon onto Goodra, but this Goodra is just going to be swiftly answered with the return in Sandslash. We actually see a very rare mistake from Htoad, looking to fire off the Ice Punch, but losing CMP. However, actually able to survive the Aqua Tail. Eventually fire off the Ice Punch. What's going on here? We get a huge amount of lag. Ice Punch does go unshielded. The opponent still with 1 Protect Shield, 2 high behind. Drapion has energy with a small amount of health, and we don't know the third yet. Back out comes Drapion. That looks like CMP. Ice Punch goes unshielded. The opponent putting it all on Ferrothorn. Venusaur, pretty much the king of the grass type. Venusaur should beat Ferrothorn unless they're running Flash Cannon. The Mirror Shot variant just doesn't do enough damage. We actually send back out Gator, fire off the crunch. We then build to the crunch, bait with the Hydro Cannon. I'm not entirely sure why we're baiting here, to be honest, but we do force that final protection. We then send out Venusaur. Even a Flash Cannon won't be lethal, so the opponent is going to concede the match. GG's. That last opponent made a really smart pivot. They sent back out Goodra, knowing we'd send back out Sandslash. They just wanted to bait it back out, so the Ferrothorn had the best chance of sweeping the backline, but unfortunately our team comp was just a bit too much for him. In the next battle, we see Gator in the lead. We say switch into the mirror, shield up the Hydro Cannon, the opponent sends out Toxapex. This is one matchup where having Crunch is very nice, because at least you can hit for neutral, and of course you've got that 30% chance of getting that debuff. Not that I can read the text of the language these battles are played in, but it looks like we went 2 for 2 on debuffs. The opponent fires off the Brine. We then make use of the misaligned timer, send out Sandslash. Sandslash, of course, not shielding anything. Brine is an absolute garbage move. The opponent sends back out Gator. Htoad fires off the Drill Run, looking to do big damage or force a Protect Shield. The opponent obliges, putting up a Protect Shield and instant throw. This now sets up a perfect opportunity for Venusaur to come in, shield once, shield the potential Ice Beam, and fully Vine Whip farm down and leave it so much energy. They have thrown 7, so I think it's very risky. I wouldn't risk getting hit with an Ice Beam. Htoad agrees, putting up that Protect Shield. We do need to be mindful that Toxapex is still alive and potentially can be used as a third shield. Speaking of which, the opponent tries to make the catch. Htoad like, nah. Diggersby, one of the thickest mon in the format. The first Frenzy Plant forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Oh, they're on Fire Punch as well. This game's going to get close. Frenzy Plant doesn't quite get the job done. Can Venusaur survive a Fire Punch from here? I don't think so. Fire Punch isn't quite lethal. You have 1 further Vine Whip. However, Gator has the Hydro Cannon bank. I completely forgot about that. But luckily for me, Htoad did not. And we take that game. Heading into the final battle of today's Shoutcast. We need Shadow Alolan Sandslash into Shadow Typhlosion. God help us all. We save switch into Gator and out comes Chestnut. Oh boy. Much like the previous battle where we saw Talonflame, we just need to try and strip these shields off the opponent. Htoad heavily over farms, looking to bait the Ice Beam. We really need to pull some shields off the opponent. We pull the first Protect Shield. Htoad gonna fire off the next Hydro Cannon. Come on, trainer, put up that Protect Shield. Okay, I'm not gonna write us off yet. We've got a chance. Venusaur can wall this energy, although his superpower still does about 40%. The opponent actually fires a double resisted Frenzy Plant, then pivot back out into Typhlosion, but trainer, this is Shadow on Shadow crime. Sludge Bomb only hits for neutral, but I've played this matchup a lot. Sludge Bomb picks up the 1-hit KO, get that Typhlosion off my screen. We see the instant pivot into Sandslash, correctly set up the superpower. Can we Powder Snow farm down before the next one's reached? Holy cow. Out comes Dugong. I can't quite believe it, but I think this one is going to end in a victory, as one non-stab Drill Run simply will not knock us out. The opponent is going to fire off the Drill Run on an unshielded Sandslash, but Sandslash not going to get knocked out. We throw 1 Powder Snow and the Drill Run. Drill Run isn't going to be quite lethal, but we're only 1 Powder Snow off the next Drill Run. And I can't quite believe it, but despite being very, very hard countered, Htoad gonna emerge victorious. Apparently this opponent also can't believe it. As you can tell by a huge amount of lag, they rage quit the app. Htoad, that was an absolute beautiful win. GG's, and thanks for playing. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's Shoutcast. Huge shout out to the highly talented Htoad for a very fun battle submission. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new, consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel. A link to the battle submission form is down below, and as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.